Right here is a 2023 Buick Enclave. Now this is the premium model dressed in this moonstone gray metallic color, really nice. And this is the first Enclave on my channel, so I'm really excited to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle. By the way guys, I found it at Orange Buick GMC and their new car inventory. So if you're interested in learning more about the pricing and availability, I'm going to post their link in the description of this video so you can contact them directly. Also, this is the first time we meet. My name is Matt here on Matt the Carguy. I post 2 car reviews every single week. So if automotive content is something you enjoy watching, do me a favor, check out the rest of my channel, consider subscribing, and if you watch this video and liked it, give me 2 thumbs up. Well, so the Enclave has actually been produced by Buick since 2008, and this particular generation started in 2018. Now, Buick gave it a refresh for 2022 model year. This is 2023, really no changes, at least on the exterior that I can see. But I haven't done an Enclave before, so let's take a look and let's see what we have. So the front end looks really sleek, looks sporty, right? It definitely looks like it might appear to a younger crowd, which that was the Buick's goal, kind of to broaden up their customer base from what it was usually be an older crowd to pretty much everybody. And I think they did just that. It looks very nice, it looks stylish. It does have this long hood, just one line right in the middle of it, and then 2 that raise up that hood on the sides for, you know, better aerodynamics, of course. Now, one thing that they changed for 2022 is they gave it this more futuristic, this more aggressive look by adding these LED turn signals, daytime running lights right here. You notice I didn't mention headlights, and that's because the headlight unit is actually down here. So that's your headlights, high beams over here, and then scrolling down below you have this nice trim piece. Unfortunately, this is not open, so this is just for the looks. And you have this Buick grille. Now, if you looked at the Buicks before, you've seen a lot of chrome. There's no difference in here. So there's a lot of shiny stuff going on around here. Big Buick logo. This one has the front view camera, and then scrolling down you have some piano black, and then, you know, the piano black is also at the bottom of this front bumper. So let's check this out and let's see what powers up this thing. Underneath the hood, you'll find a 3.6-liter V6 engine. We've seen that on the Cadillac XT6, for example. Same engine, 310 horsepower, 266 pound-feet of torque, made it to a 9-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60 time around 6.5 seconds, so pretty quick, actually. Now, you do have the hood struts on both sides. No sound insulation on here, but worry nothing, because this vehicle will get retrofitted once they get the parts in. So there's actually says that on the sticker of it that the customer can come back and do it at a later time when they get the parts in. So this current generation Enclave shares its platform with the Cadillac XT6 as well as the Chevrolet Traverse. And while all of the vehicles are unique in their own ways as far as the styling, this one is definitely more similar to the Traverse than it is to the XT6. And quite frankly, you know, the side presentation of this vehicle is, well, a little underwhelming in my opinion. Now what we have here is you see this trim piece that's so Buick, right? So you have this chrome trim piece that goes on the door and the fender. You have this fake air outlet. Now this has been upgraded with this 20-inch rims. Actually, I like this polished aluminum wheels. They're part of this Experience Buick package, $2,750 package that includes the rims, it includes 2 sunroofs, includes some other technology enhancements on the inside of the vehicle. And what else we have? Scrolling down below at the bottom, as you can see, starting in the front, you have this piano black trim that continues throughout the entire vehicle. You have a chrome trim piece over here, chrome on the side of the door handles. Smart entry system requires you to push the button to lock or unlock the vehicle, but you don't have to push the button on the key. You do have the turn signals inside of the mirrors, camera right underneath your blind spot assist, chrome around the windows, blacked out pillars right over here, and then you have this low profile kind of polished aluminum looking roof rails over there. It is a pretty large vehicle. Let's see how it looks from the back. The rear end was also updated for 2022, and that includes this whole LED light setup. Now that of course includes the tail lights, turn signals, reverse lights, and the reflector lights right at the bottom here. You do have a gauge spoiler. Again, right at the bottom of here you have this piano black trim piece that kind of continues on the side. You have the exposed wiper Buick logo, again chrome. We have a lot of that in here. You have the rear view camera. You actually have two. One of them is the rear view camera. The second one projects the picture or the video into your rear view mirror. We're going to check that out in just a little bit. Chrome trim piece over here and this piano black bumper. I'm not sure if I like it or not. Actually, it breaks it up, so I guess it's a good thing. And then you have two exhausts, one on each side. Now this one doesn't have a tow package, but it does have the availability of opening the gate by basically kicking your foot underneath here. And I've done it before, so I know it works. I just have to find the right spot. Well, I guess it works whenever it wants to. We can also open it from the remote, and let's check out the roominess in there. So let's see how much room we have behind the third row seat, and that's actually a good size, right? It's a lot deeper than it is on my Pilot and several other of the mid-size SUVs that I've seen. Now, the drawback to it is it's not very functional because it can only go up to here. So, but you do have quite a bit of cargo space, and if that wasn't enough, you can also pull stuff underneath here. So it's nicely plastic lined cargo space also right underneath it. Now on the premium version, normally you would get the third row power seat. However, due to the chip shortage, this vehicle has a credit on the manufacturer sticker saying that, hey, you know what, you're getting a couple $100 off because this vehicle doesn't have the third row power seats. Not very difficult to fold them, you know. All you have to do is drop them. Of course, I have the seat and that side adjusted a little bit too far back, so it's not going to drop, but you get the idea of how much room we have. What else do we have in this cargo compartment? Well, not too much, to be honest with you. I don't have an illumination. There is a power outlet over here. This is the regular 12-volt power outlet. And then if you look in the third row seat, on both sides you'll find the cup holders as well as the USB connectors. Sitting in the back of this Enclave actually feels very spacious. There's plenty of room for my knees. As you can see, I have plenty of headroom, shoulder room. I'm 6 feet tall, just adjusted the seat to my regular driving position. And I do have two sunroofs in here, so those take away a little bit of headroom, and I still have enough of it. So no shortage of space, definitely. Let's check out this interior together. We're going to start this interior tour with that door panel in the back. So it's pretty simple, actually. It does have some nice features. It kind of looks classy. It's stylish. It's not bad at all. So you have this trim piece that looks like a black wood, a little bit polished aluminum looking trim. The door handle, you have a cup holder, nicely padded armrest, and the window control. You have a little bit more storage in the bottom of the door and the speaker right there. So we're going to check out something that's different that I haven't seen on any other cars, and I don't know why they do it. So if you look at this seat, all right, the seat on the driver's side and the back, the only way you can actually move this seat is you lift it up, the seat folds up, and it doesn't do anything else. So they obviously don't want you to get in the third row seat from the driver's side, which, you know, kind of makes sense, but sometimes in a different, like one-way streets, you park on the other side and you get people in through that. But you can also get in the middle, or you can go to the driver's side seat. Now let's check this out. Or I should say the passenger side seat, because we were on the driver's side seat. So this seat is completely different. Now this has an extra lever over here that basically you pull, and this seat moves out of the way. Now this is not without effort, so it's pretty heavy actually, but it moves out of the way, allowing you for an easier access into the third row seat. Well, I don't have the seats folded up, but even with the seat folded down, you can see how much room you have. Now, this is with the seat all the way back. Even if you move that a little bit to the front, it's not going to leave you much room for your feet unless you're a child. So this is basically what these seats are designed for. So I'm not sure. I would like to see, again, both seats have the ability to enter into the third row seat. And I like to see, you know, a push button kind of thing like we've seen on so many other models. Now, the big advantage of this vehicle versus some of the other one, look at the flat floor. The floor is completely flat. There's plenty of room in the back. And then if you look at this console right here, you have your climate control setting, heated seats, you have your 2 USB ports and the regular household adapter. And both of the seats, driver and passenger, also have the seat back storage right there. As always, let's check out how this vehicle sounds. Boom, when you close the door, of course. Yeah, it sounds actually pretty good. I would give it probably about 7 out of 10, so it's not bad at all. And then the front door panel right here has the 2 memory seat settings. It has the lock, unlock, window, mirror controls. You know, you do have your gate opener in the back. The speaker is actually branded. There is a Bose stereo on this premium trim over here, and you do have a little bit of extra storage. Now, Buick right on the door sill over there, and then you can see that the seat is power. Now that's both on the driver and passenger seat. You have the power adjustment on it. Now you do have the leather trim seats on this premium trim, and then right underneath here you can stuff more stuff underneath this console over here. What else do we have here? So we have the adjustments for the head-up display, info, adjustment for the brightness of the lights. That's your electronic parking brake. Now let's jump inside. I'll show you the rest of it. Interior of this 2023 Enclave. Here's what it is. So you can see it's actually nice. It's not anything crazy, not extravagant or anything like this, but it's, you know, it's simple. And you do have, you know, this is hard plastic, but the front portion of the dashboard is nicely wrapped in what it looks like simulated leather. You can see that it's not. You do have a head-up display over there. The steering wheel is actually large, nice to the touch. You have the pedal shifters in the back. You have a bunch of buttons on both sides. We're kind of going to go through them as, you know, I go along and show you what's in the instrument cluster and the infotainment system. But I like this bottom portion of the steering wheel. It looks very nice. Buick logo. And then you have the heated steering wheel. You have the cruise control settings, the adaptive cruise control. Now this controls what's going on in the instrument cluster. You also have the phone hang up button and the voice control right there. So if you look in the instrument cluster right here, it is a combination. So it's an analog on both sides, and you can see that's kind of strange, but this screen goes all the way into this analog basically gauges, and it kind of is in the middle. So in the middle you have the speedometer. On the left hand side you have the tachometer. On the right hand side you have the fuel gauge, temperature gauge, and the battery charge. What we can change in this middle instrument cluster. So now you have the basically you have your miles per hour, so you have your speed. So here's your trip B, go to fuel range, remaining oil life, tire pressure, okay, 95%, timer. If you're gonna set it up, here's your oil temperature, and this is your blank screen. If we go side to side, do we have anything else? No, really, but here, that changes now. So see, you have the info on the left hand side, and that's basically what we had right there, going up and down through all the info screens. When we move to the left, you can set it up at audio. So basically what's going to display in the middle is what's playing on your radio right now, or you can do your navigation system, phone, and here are the other options. So you can have the traction control on or off. You can have US or metric as far as the units, sport, display themes. So let's see what we have. We can have sport or touring as a display theme. This is the touring display theme. It's a little bit different, as you can see. 10 out of 14 pages, so those are your info pages. Now what do we have? Disable cruise control. We have to say speed warning is disabled, right? So we can enable that, and we can set up the speed that we want to have the speed warning up. Open source software, head-up display, so you can customize it, right? So we'll see what we can have. Head-up display, brightness, up and down is to confirm. So here's at the bottom. Let's go to the left-hand side and see what we have. That's basically we're in the options. The last one is we're back to traction and stability. So that is it. That's what's customizable in this instrument cluster. Let's move on here. So what we have here is the 8-inch infotainment system. And in the time and age where a lot of the competitors are doing 12-inch screens, 8 is very small. Now, you know, especially in this price range, when you look at the premium, the vehicle we're sitting in right now, it's at $56,000. So, I mean, you can get a fully loaded Kia Telluride, Toyota Highlander, you can get that fully loaded Hyundai Palisade. You know, you can have a lot of the vehicles that would have a little bit nicer infotainment system, a larger screen too. But nevertheless, let's check this out. One of the nice things that I like about it is, as you can see, this is Android Auto. And it is wireless. There's no wires connecting my phone to it, and you have the full functional Android Auto. We can exit this out, and that's going to take us to your home screen. And we've seen that on so many different Chevy, GMC, and Buick models. So you have the same infotainment system. You have the audio, phone, navigation, Wi-Fi hotspot, users, settings, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Let's see what we have in settings. Several settings as far as the systems, different apps, vehicle settings. So you can set this up: rear car seat reminder, climate and air quality, collision, comfort, convenience, lighting, power door locks, remote lock, unlock, seating position, trailering, teen driver, haven't seen that one. Teen driver mode allows you to assign keys with customizable restrictions. Refer to your owner's manual for details. While I knew Ford had this My Key, so I guess it's very similar to that. It's really cool when you have a teenager and you don't want them to drive over a certain speed limit, limit the speaker output, etc. So they don't blast the music and blow your speakers off. So this is your settings. Go back to the home screen. OnStar climate, rear climate, camera. Let's see what the camera looks like. So you have multiple angles on the camera over here. Okay, so front and back cameras. Now you have the front from top, back from top, and then the side view cameras from the right and the left hand side. And here's your top view camera over here. So nice thing about it, okay, it does have the trajectory lines. As you can see, they're active trajectory lines, and if I put this vehicle in reverse, it's going to open it up to the back. Right now I was in park, so actually it had the front trajectory lines. This is back. What I like about this camera is actually quality is really nice. So it's really nice, crisp, it's almost HD looking camera, so that's definitely a plus. And it takes up the entire screen. And then you have the rear climate control that you can turn on or off, and you can actually control it from here or from the back. You can basically set it up for the passengers. Back to your main screen, My Buick. Okay, it's not set up. The vehicle is in the demo mode, so probably not going to be able to show you anything on that, so we're just going to get out of here. And this is basically how your front screen looks like. So, you know, the stereo system, actually it sounds pretty good. Unfortunately, due to the copyright restrictions, I can't really play it for you, but trust me, the Bose stereo system, really nice. What do we have here? So you can turn off your automatic start-stop feature for the engine. You have your hazard lights, parking sensors, and lane keep assist. Scrolling down in here, you have some shortcuts for your menu. So anytime you get lost in this infotainment system, if that's even possible, you hit the home button and it's going to take you to the home screen. And turn this thing on or off, audio volume muted, or you can hold it and actually turn off the entire system. That's also your track front and back. This is your back button. Engine start and stop, okay, nice and stylish. It has two lights. You know, when it's running, it has a green light. And then down at the bottom, you have your climate control settings. Now, on this premium package, you do have the heated and ventilated front seats. So as you can see, we have the ventilated seats going, and that's how you adjust the climate control over here. And basically, you have the air recirculating, you have the auto button, so just a standard thing. You do have the wireless charger over here, USB, USB-C, you have the SD card spot, that slot that you could put over here, and you do have this push button transmission basically. After a couple minutes of using it, it's really nice. The first thing, I was trying to actually push the drive button instead of actually pulling up on it, which, you know, normally is reserved for the reverse. But, you know, then the parking button is right here, and then you have the low mode over here as well. Now if you push on that, you have the cup holders, and right behind it you have some storage over here, and more storage if you take up the top shelf. Moving up over here into this rear view mirror. So this is the feature that I wish more manufacturers were coming up with. Standard, sometimes it's so important. Now, I'm not sure if I like the placement of it. Normally, a lot of vehicles have it right on top, like in the gate spoiler. This vehicle has it in the same place as the rear view camera, so it kind of gives you that view from, you know, underneath the windshield or rear window, which is not bad. It's, you know, just a little different than most of the other vehicles. And you can turn that off. You can move it into the regular mirror. See, you have to enable it in order to turn it on. Over here you have your ONSTAR, you have your slide for your roof, and you can either open it up or tilt it, and you can open up the cover for the back roof. I'm going to turn around in just a minute and show it to you, but I want to show you what else is here. So you have the LED lights, and over here you have the illuminated mirrors. So as you can see, and push on this, open it up, right? This is wide open right now. I have this windscreen, and I actually open up the cover on the back moonroof, which is fixed, and that allows you to get more light inside the cabin. So this is the interior of this 2023 Enclave. Let's see how it drives. It's time to take it on the road and check it out how it drives, but before we do that, let's talk about different trim levels that are available for 2023 Enclave. So it does start with Essence, which is at 44.8. That's the starting point on it. The Premium, which we're sitting in right now, starting as 51.8, and then the Avenir starting at 57.100. So what do you get in the Avenir that you don't get in this? So you get the exclusive Enclave Avenir grille, so it's different than what you see on the other trim. The exclusive 20-inch aluminum wheels with pearl nickel finish, panoramic moonroof with rear fixed skylight, rear moonroof, and you get the rain sense wipers, as well as you get the Avenir interior and the bigger screen, so you get a few features extra. Now, it's kind of strange because when you look at the Buick's website and you look at the lineup of it, it says vehicles, and then it says Buick Enclave, which basically has the Essence and the Premium, and then it says as a separate vehicle, it says the Enclave Avenir. So they kind of want to push that as a more luxurious, almost a trim or a vehicle of its own. So the Avenir is available in the Enclave, is available on the Envision model. So that's something that Buick is doing for the luxury hungry people, if you will. Now, one thing that we didn't talk about is the towing capacity, and that's 5,000 pounds if it was equipped with the tow hitch. And then the second thing we didn't talk about is, of course, the gas mileage. So as far as the gas mileage, you get the 18 in the city and 26 on the highways with this front-wheel drive model, and then you lose about a mile if you decide to go for the all-wheel drive model, which is pretty much available on all of them. Now, let's see how this 3.6 liter engine handles on the road. I don't see, normally this lot is actually empty, and today it's full of cars. So we're not going to be able to do a 360 here, but I'm going to find a spot somewhere where I'm going to be able to actually do that to see how this vehicle turns around. It is a mid-size SUV, so it competes in the segment, well, you know, the Traverse, of course, and the XT6 are the siblings on it. But if you're looking at Ford, now we're probably looking at the Explorer in this range, although Explorer is probably a little bit more off-roady, but it's about the same size. And you know, if you're looking at the you know, Asian competitors, so if you're looking at the Toyota Highlander, you're looking at Kia Telluride, Honda Pilot, so you're looking at some of the other vehicles that are available. And the first impression when you drive this vehicle, when you hit the accelerator, you can see that it's a very, very responsive. You know, that instant acceleration. Well, it is a naturally aspirated engine. There's no turbos in here, but you know, a lot of them still kind of gives you that little different power delivery, especially on the non-turbo engines. This one, it wants to go. If you just be careful when you get into one and you press that accelerator, this vehicle is going to jump. It's very spacious on the interior, so you do have a lot of room. As I'm sitting here in this vehicle, you can see the driver and passenger are very comfortable in here. The seats, I mean, they're okay. They're not bad at all. I mean, I don't think they're super plush or super super hard or anything like this, and they are ventilated, so that definitely helps out in the hot weather here in Florida. What else can I tell you about it? It does have a nice windshield visibility. It does have the windows that go all the way to the front, including this little triangle windows that helps you with the visibility right over there, so that eliminates the blind spot. The mirror, that's a big yes, right? So you can see what's going on in the back, even if you had all 3 rows full of people or luggage, so you can see what's going on in the back. And I really like that feature on a lot of cars. Now, you can see the acceleration here. You can definitely hear that engine working, so it's not the quietest thing out there, especially during acceleration. And maybe that's another thing, maybe because it doesn't have that sound insulation, that's actually owed to the customer. Once they get it, it's going to be a lot quieter, so that could be actually a reason for it too. Now we're going to do a 180 over here. Let's see how we handle here. No excessive body roll or anything like this. So I was approaching this vehicle too fast, and you know, it kind of put me in my place, saying, hey, you know what, you need to brake. So it gives me that forward collision warning. Very nice feature on the vehicle itself. It is faster on paper than, you know, like the Telluride, than the Palisade or the Pilot. So it's 6.5 seconds, actually not bad at all. 310 horsepower, 266 pound-feet of torque, in case you didn't remember. And we're going to see what it can do right here. Not a huge stretch of road, but hopefully enough. We're burning rubber right here, folks. Definitely very torquey. Very torquey, almost too torquey. Now, does it have a traction control? We have the traction control on, and that's still doing this, so definitely it's got a lot of torque on this vehicle to do what we just did. I don't think that that's a good thing. I think that there should be somewhat controlled, otherwise you'd be going through tires like crazy. See, like this. I mean, that wasn't even like pressing it too hard. Now, this vehicle is definitely over-torqued. Here's my final thoughts on this vehicle, guys. I like the roominess of this vehicle, the front end styling, the back end styling, really nice. Side stylings, well, it's very subjective, but I'm not a huge fan of it. Of course, you know, you do have technology in this vehicle, but you know, a lot of competitors, especially in this price range, are providing you with a lot more as far as the technology, bigger screens, more options in here, you know. But what I like about this is I like the sound system in here. I like this Bose sound system. I like the functionality. Even this is a small screen, it's pretty functional. I like that it has the wireless Android Auto, so it does have a lot of pluses. The camera quality is good, no questions there, no complaints. And you know, what I would like to see is a little bit different power delivery to this vehicle. Now, I think it is too aggressive in my opinion, and you know, it should be toned down a little bit. And normally you won't hear me saying that, but you know, unless you want to go through tires like crazy, you probably want to have something that's not as aggressive as this one. Now, it does have this backup camera over here right now that's basically buzzing my seat because I'm getting closer and closer to a vehicle behind me, which is also a nice option. So technology is there. It's just not as elaborate as some of the other vehicles, but it's functional. Well, guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit that like button, and don't hit it twice because it's going to take it away. And if you learned something, that's awesome. That means I've done my job. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, check out the rest of my channel and hit that little subscribe button at the bottom of this video. It really helps me out a lot. With that said, I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.